Hey, so histamines. I just got done mowing the grass for the first time this year, and it looks lovely, like gorgeous. Just could roll in it, except for you probably shouldn't, because a lot of people have a histamine reaction to different types of grasses and pollens and environmental things. So as I'm enjoying my first histamine reaction of the year, the delightful spring, and you can hear the birds like twittering in the background. And before you ask, yes, I did wear neon pink lipstick to mow the grass, so don't judge. Stop trying to censor me. I wanted to explain to you a little bit about histamines from a nutritional perspective. So histamines are something that's excreted by the cell in response to an injury, allergy, or kind of this inflammatory response. It's kind of like the body saying, hey, in foreign invader, we must do things. So the capillaries get smaller, and we kind of restrict normal flow and all of those things. We get all snotty and mucousy, or your eyes get watery or itchy, or sometimes you have other symptoms of histamine reaction that aren't necessarily like those kind of same cold symptoms that you have. But nutritionally, there's a lot of interesting things about histamine, like kind of overload. So you have a certain amount of histamine your body can handle before we kind of tip the bucket, and then we have this response. And it really depends on, how well your body does at mediating how full the bucket gets, and also understanding specific nutrients and genetics and all those things that can help decrease the bucket, right? Because once we fill up the histamine bucket, then tips over and we have this histamine cascade. That means we have symptoms. And for some people, that's, whether it's hives or itchies or allergies, like symptoms, or it's full-on anaphylaxis or something like that. That's when the histamine cascade is really out of control. So nutritionally and like integrative health wise, there's like nettles tea that can modulate the histamine response. There's specific nutrients. I often recommend something called Scent Arrest by Biotics. It's a supplement that has selenium and molybdenum, as well as other things that kind of support a healthy histamine reaction, or kind of smooths over by using specific targeted nutrients to smooth over the histamine reaction. And that's a really good one for my people, especially that have significant chemical sensitivity. So if you have several chemical sensitivities, or you're really sensitive to fragrances or perfumes or inhaled allergens or something like that, you really want to, first of all, come see me, because I can help you figure out what those things are, and then how to heal the body, whether it's the gut or it's a genetic deficiency or an enzymatic deficiency based on a genetic mutation or something like that. But it's really cool that you can use specific things to help mediate that. So using your like neti pot where you squirt the stuff up and one down the other, that's great for environmental allergies, to help kind of clear things out, continue healthy mucus production, as opposed to ending up with a sinus infection or something like that. As well as using a HEPA filter in the house if you're, struggling with potential pet dander, or, whatever environmental allergies, maybe mold if you're having some histamine reactions in your house or something like that. The nettles tea is a great one. Supplements that have quercetin and bromelain in them also can really be supportive for a healthy histamine reaction. And there's another one called Histamine X by Seeking Health that I think is a good one. And then making sure that your gut is healthy is a huge one, because if we have these, leaky epithelial barrier where all of these things are getting through, we're going to have a much bigger response and to more variety of things, and your allergies will just keep growing and growing, as opposed to, getting better, which is always the goal. You don't want to just live with allergies. You don't want to get more. You want to heal, the allergic reaction. So a good probiotic for people that are really sensitive to histamine. There are certain strains that can be beneficial that don't trigger a histamine reaction, which some probiotics can. So you want to be mindful of that, as well as things like, leftover and fermented foods can also be like triggers for histamine, like kind of explosion. So even though they're not necessarily bad things, you just be mindful. So if you have histamine questions, let me know.